My name is Geovanna Toliver. I'm married. It will be 30 years next year. I have 2 children. My son, the oldest, is Jonathan, and my daughter, Erica. By the grace of God, my parents, both my mother and father, are still alive. There are 4 girls and 1 boy. I am the oldest out of all 5. Then we're stair-steps, Jackie, Vivian, and my brother Benny, and Michelle is the youngest. Being raised in my home, now that I'm older, of course, I think it was a blessing. It's not to say that we didn't have issues or adversity, not to say that we didn't have financial problems, none of that, but it was through that and primarily my parents' faithfulness to God and His faithfulness to them that we made it through. That's all I know. As being raised with a father, I don't know anything else. My father means more than the world to me, and I think I can say that as long as it doesn't mean more to me than God. But he was a spiritual leader. He's always been, for as long as I know him, a preacher. So he brought us up in the way of biblical teaching. And don't misunderstand that as being strict and rigid and never having any fun, because that's totally wrong if you're going to talk about my family. Now, he didn't take foolishness, let's put it like that, and he did discipline us, which is why we're where we're at. But he played games with us, he took us to the park, he took us to the zoo, he came to our school, talked parent-teacher conferences. He was involved in every aspect of our lives except sports. And we understood that because when he grew up in the church, they weren't allowed to play sports, so sports is not a big deal for him. But he never kept us from playing it, as you know. And the fact that he probably never came to one of my games never really bothered me. You know, it wasn't something that that affected me mentally or anything. I just loved to play. He was there for us when we were hurt or people said something we didn't like. He always gave us some words of wisdom, told us how to handle it, and usually said, don't pay him any mind. So he never saw Erica play until she was a sophomore in high school at Arco Arena. So it's not a big thing for anybody in the family. We know that's just him. He understands sports, and he understands if you can watch a football game and knows what's going on. He can watch a basketball game and knows what's going on, but he'd rather sleep. Probably the fondest memory it's not really something that happened to us, but I guess, it was a long time ago. But I had to be I was at least in high school. It definitely was before I met Daniel, my husband. I think I was still a teenager. I might have been like 18, 19, I think. But I wrote him a letter. I think it was for his birthday or Father's Day or something like that. And in that letter, I said, is it wrong for a daughter to want to be like her father? And then I laid out about the thing that I wanted, that I admired in him, that I wanted to be like. You know, the wisdom, the faithfulness, the discipline, the love, the care, and that was a long time ago. And my life went on, his life went on, and I guess about 5 years ago, 5 to 7 years ago, I was at the house, and he gave me a piece of paper. And he said, "Do you remember this?" And it was the letter that I had wrote him, and he still has it. And so I guess, you know, that's why I love my father. The benefit, don't believe that there is a God. And then it taught us that we had to eventually believe in him ourselves. Their faith helped our faith to grow. And in the end, they realized that it also was a personal choice for us, that we had to make a decision that we were going to serve God. It helped us, taught us to love people, because that's a product of knowing God, because they taught us how to love, to respect. They definitely taught us to respect their God, who now is my God. They taught us to, because we respect God, you respect his people. When I say people, I mean humanity. And then being raised in a Christian home helped us learn how to appreciate what God has created in this world. The waters, the seas, just the creation in itself. And that's a question, because there's so many things that are product of being raised in a Christian home that's beneficial. The fact that it taught us to go to church. And then our parents brought, it wasn't just the mother bringing us, but the father and the mother bringing us to church. It taught us to how to live in this world, even though, like the scripture says, train up a child in the way that he should go. Even if you don't accept Jesus Christ, there's certain things that you won't do because of the Christian upbringing. There are certain places that you won't go because of the Christian upbringing. Because of that aspect. And it taught us our parents taught us that Christian lifestyle and behavior, it goes into when you have your job, when you go to school, it goes into every area of your life on the positive side. If it was anything negative, it was on our part because we didn't understand at the time. Everybody's life is different. God has a different path for each of us. Just because many homes may have a father, but the father's not there mentally, he's not there spiritually. So it's not, so I'm not any better than a female or a daughter or a woman whose father wasn't there. God sees you as complete as who you are. So what I say to them is, don't look in the past, just look forward and do what you can with what you have. Do the best with what God has given you. what He's blessed you, what He has put in your life, the people He has put in your life. Father, mother, but one thing I do know, that God has a special place in His heart for the fatherless. So that's one thing you can remember, that He has a special place, and I believe that He will do something special for those who hold on to Him in the end, those who don't have a father. I would like to say Happy Father's Day to all of the fathers at Progressive Day. Special emphasis to the father of my children, Elder Daniel Bean. I love you. He's a fantastic father. He reminds me a lot of my own father. And special, wonderful, happy Father's Day to my father, who is not only my natural father, but also my spiritual father. And I think I kind of elaborated it on a lot, but he has always been a man of God in our lives. And it was he who, and still does, leads me and guides me spiritually. Like when people come to me all the time and they're asking me a question about what does this passage mean, where is this verse found, what is this text, and you ask me. But if I don't know, I ask my spiritual father and my natural father, which is the pastor. So you might want to sidestep me sometimes and ask your spiritual father. But it's been, like I said, this is all I know. So I'm comfortable with it. Don't regret it. I wouldn't want it to be any other way. There was another incident I was thinking about. It was not, I wouldn't call it a fond memory. It was a learning memory. I was in high school, sophomore, and I remember how I said earlier that my parents were involved in us school-wise. So I'm in my class, and you know how they have they had the doors with a little square out with a window where you can see inside the classroom. So I'm in my class, and I'm, with my head down, and somebody pushes me, and they say, they're pointing at you. And it was my dad and my mom, but primarily my dad, looking through the window. And my reaction was, like, why are they here? I don't want them to see me. And it was funny. And so I didn't put my head back up, and they had left. So then we got home, and my dad said, "Why did you put your head down?" And I was embarrassed now, But my dad, understanding teenagers, he just laughed at it and went on about his way. But to me, it was like, oh my gosh, that's, that was terrible. I should say, "Hey, Dad," but I didn't. My father has always been a practical joker, always making you laugh, doing something funny, saying something funny, sometimes silly, but it's still funny. We'd be at the table, he'd say, "Look," you turn your head and your bacon was gone. One time my aunt came, and we had during a holiday, and he took a watermelon rind and he smashed it in her face. Yes, he does that kind of stuff. So he's always tried to make you laugh, and I think he does that with children, whoever he comes to meet, to make you feel comfortable around him, and I think that's a good trait to have. He used to steal our food all the time, and you think we would learn, but all my siblings, the fact that my parents are getting older, know that they're not going to be here forever. I'm not going to be here forever. My children are not going to be here forever. But they have let us know where their papers are, let us know what to do when the time comes when one of them leaves this earth, the way they're going, my father and my mother might outlive me, but so you have to prepare for that, and you can't wait till it happens. And that teaches me as a parent that don't want to be a burden to my children. So they've prepared so it wouldn't be a burden on us. So that means I'd have to do the same thing for my children. You know, cemetery, wills, property, all that. You gotta take care of that. Spiritually, sometimes for my father, I think he thinks he's 50 years old, but I know this is what he loves. He loves preaching. He loves being around the people of God. Sometimes we try to keep him from trying to do too much, but you know, he can be hard-headed sometimes. But I think he's starting to listen to us a little more. So we definitely want to make sure that things are easy as possible and pleasant as possible for them while they're in their twilight years. Shout out to Erica in Utah. She's probably going to cry when she sees this. My son, who I'm also proud of, who's faithful, worker here and on his job. And shout out to my brother, who's not able to be here. And I'm pretty sure he'd echo the same things about my father as well. Again, happy Father's Day, everybody.